Hi everyone, today we're talking about earnings season next week. Last weekend we talked about the earnings season starting to kick off the week just gone. We had a lot of bank stocks reporting earnings that seems pretty strong. We also had Netflix this week reported earnings that reported really good earnings, which I said previously on the channel I thought that was going to happen because the programs that Netflix had out over this last quarter will pay off for them because the big shows that were coming out in that quarter. And that happened, which is really good news for Netflix because it's a stock that had been hit quite a bit. But this week now, or next week coming up, and the week after, are kind of like the two peak weeks in earnings seasons where we have a lot of big companies reporting some earnings. Some of my stocks I own reporting earnings. So we're going to have a look at this week's, and then hopefully next weekend I'll talk about next week's earnings and some news about them. I'm pretty sure that some of these stocks that I'm going to talk about, I'll probably end up making a video about their earnings because I'm sure they'll definitely move the market a little bit and the stocks will move pretty much off these earnings. So it'll be interesting what happens with that. But the aim is, guys, is to hopefully reach that 1,000 YouTube video subscribers, which is where I can actually probably do some live streams of when these earnings get reported and talk about the numbers and my opinion on it. So, guys, if you could give the video a like, that would be amazing. Subscribe so we can get to that 1,000 subscriber where I can start live streaming some of these earnings. But apart from that, guys, we'll have a look at what earnings are coming up this week and we'll have a little chat about them. So Monday is always a quiet day in earnings, and there's not really many stocks that I'll be kind of like watching out for on the Monday. But Tuesday for me is where it starts to get really interesting because on the morning I'll be watching quite a few stocks. Hopefully McDonald's has a big massive crash. I don't think it will, but hopefully it does. UPS is always interesting, as well as FedEx. UPS and FedEx, I like to track how them two are doing. Those are kind of like on my watch list, how they go. And also you got P&G down there and Lockheed Martin. They're always interesting to watch. Snapchat always moves big time on earnings. We've got AAA after the close. Skechers, iRobot, which is a stock that I'm currently watching quite closely. So I'll be checking how them earnings do. Hopefully that stock does go down and it will make a good opportunity to go buy it. Whirlpool, which I think is a stock which Jeremy on financial education, I think he owns that stock still. So they're a big dividend player. Wednesday is a big day. Wednesday and Thursday next week are big days. And we've got Boeing, which went down 3.5% this on Friday. Hopefully that stock pulls back quite a bit and makes a good buying opportunity. I would like to get that really cheap if I could. We've got Caterpillar. I quite like Caterpillar really. If that was to go down a little bit more, that would be interesting. Waste Management is one that I've like tracked ever since I've like started investing, and it's one that I've always wanted to go in because it's just an easy, steady stock with a steady dividend. But it never pulls back massive, which is interesting. And then after the close, we've got some big stocks after the close. So we've got Microsoft, which is my biggest position after the close. We've got Tesla, which obviously is always massive after earnings. And this earnings, my point of view of Tesla is that I think they'll kind of not make a big move, is kind of my prediction. Like, I don't think that they will sell off huge, and I don't think the stock will go up huge. But it is Tesla, so anything could happen. But if I was guessing, that's kind of where I feel like I think it'll be kind of like in line on EPS and revenue, I think. PayPal, a stock that I previously owned, and if it was ever to go down quite a bit, I would buy that company for sure. Ford, I'm sure that'll be awful for them as per normal. Align Technology, a stock that I own. Bought it on the dip at the moment, and hopefully that's a stock which will push up back to the $300 range is where I want to sell it. So hopefully that does a decent quarter. Obviously it went down last quarter massively. eBay, a stock that I was so close to buying a little bit earlier, I think this year. So we'll see what happens there. Lam Research was a chip maker that I also like to keep a track on. Las Vegas Sands down there. Not really a company that interests me, but they're reporting earnings. Twitter, which I think is the stock that is the second, moves the second most on earnings day. I think that's what it is. And this is on the Thursday. Nokia, 3M. 3M is a stock that I like. It's just people are buying on this discount, which I don't blame them. But for me, I like 3M to be cheaper than what it is for me to go buy it. Southwest, Comcast, they always kind of have a bit of Raytheon as well. You know, them two, them couple three stocks kind of always get talked about after earnings. And then the close on Thursday is kind of interesting because we've got the Amazon, Visa, which is one of my stock, Intel. Those are the three companies that I'd probably be watching the most on Thursday. And Friday before the open, a couple of stocks down there. Probably Verizon, maybe Goodyear will be the two that I'll track the most on there. But I don't think whatever happens on earnings, I don't think they would interest me unless something crazy happened with them two on Friday. So guys, those are like looking at the earnings for this week. Some big names for sure, and like I say, I'll probably be making a video about a few of these earnings. I can already feel a Tesla and a Microsoft video coming out next week after earnings, and potentially if a stock makes a big massive move, good or bad, probably bad, then I'll probably make a video about it and talking about if it's a stock that I'm going to go buy. But I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and like I say, I think next weekend I'll probably do the same video again because there's some big earnings the week after, and like I said, I'll probably stop after that because the earnings season quiets down a little bit there. But hopefully, like I say, guys, if you give the video a like, subscribe, give the channel a little bit of support, we can get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. And like I say, I could live stream some of these earnings, which would be really fun to do. I'd enjoy doing that. So let's try and get there if we can, guys, at some point. That'd be amazing. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.